I think VWAP is the best indicator that any trader of any level should be using to just find the best quality setups and be able to pivot throughout the day as we get more information. I was able to make $1,500 on just one trade, trading with the trend on the right side of VWAP, and let's go over it here in just a second. Let's see the plays that were in play on ES to start. We have the open come in pretty bearish. Opening range isn't broken. How do we know not to long it there as buyers are stepping in above New York VWAP for the first time after a bearish open? You could be wanting to ride that back higher, but actually sellers step in and actually make a small new low of day. All right, but then buyers take it back again and kind of make a higher high. How do we know we're not going higher and not get induced into these longs? Well, if we look at the electronic trading hours, this is all on regular, just looking at from the 9:30 New York open. On the electronic trading hours, you'll see now the blue VWAP is anchored from the New York, and that black one is the changeover of day, that overnight VWAP from 6 p.m. Eastern. We're underneath it. I cannot be looking for longs if we're underneath that VWAP. And you look at the pre-market price action, in what world has this been bullish that I want to be looking for longs just because we're above this New York VWAP? So I actually was able to take a short kind of early on in the session, for sure, for me, not kind of. 9:34, so 4 minutes into the day, but I see this consolidation after that big move down to start the morning pre-market. Now the open comes in real quick. Buyers try to take this New York VWAP. They fail. Sellers quickly reclaim it. It's at the low of day currently, right before this fell. Don't love that, but I do like, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, that open volatility that I think sellers are in. This might want to make a move early as sellers just took a stand there. So let me try to scalp this lower. And you can see when it moves that quickly, 3 candles all in the same direction for new lows, I'm out. I'm not holding that forever. A pullback will probably come in. So I got out after those 3 minutes down. If you look after here, comes right back up. Moves like that are not going to stay forever, even though you see it does come lower, just stress-free wise. The quicker it moves, the quicker I'm out. But the thing I also love about this stop loss is this is the current opening range high, another lower high, another one, another one. All of these levels of protection that if this last lower high gets taken out, yeah, I probably don't want to be short down here at the low of day. It's probably coming up here to New or the overnight view up, right? And I'll maybe look for shorts again from up there. But right now it's telling me sellers have been in, they're holding in. Let's see if we can go scalp this lower. So I make money early on the shorts that I think being underneath that overnight view up, you're not interested in these longs whatsoever, unless you're trying to trade it up to it, which are going to be the tougher trades to try to trade to the VWAP. You're just better off trading with it. So let's say the first short opportunity, because we're definitely bearish buys today, once sellers step back in. Stop loss at the top of range. You can see it doesn't just move quickly for a new low a day. Comes back, maybe stops out every single person that put a tight stop loss there, right? Right at current structure. I teach that in Futures 2.0, where to put your stop loss, how to trade these VWAPs. So if you want access to that, the link's down below. You can get access for free. Stop loss at current structure is just never going to be safe. I shouldn't say never, just very rarely, right? It's so obvious. A lot of people are going to get stopped out there. They want to cover your bases. Until it makes a new high of day, yeah, I want to be short. Look how much the sellers have been in control today. If this moves up to here, would I still want to be short? Yeah, looks like it. So why would I want to be stopped out there? That's not going to invalidate any sort of short bias I have. So let me put my stop loss where my shorts are now wrong. And you finally hold in. So let's say you don't take this one. It gets back below New York again. Same stop loss. This is just the one that runs less stressful. But it's the same idea, right? You should be taking one or if not both of these setups. It's the same price. Timing is just a little bit different. But I think the key thing is just not getting induced into the longs against VWAP, because that's how you'll take quick losses fighting the overall trend, right? I could see that we're above this New York VWAP for a few minutes and sellers are making new lows, but they could step in very quickly just like they had in the pre-market. But another reason why I think VWAP is the best indicator, which I've a million videos on why, and you can go find them all also on ASFX TV, that's where we're trading them, but it just drifts lower, right? So I don't really see any of my short opportunities in here. There's some small low of day VWAP breaks, right? If you put on a low of day view up to here, turn that purple. Sellers step in. You got to give a stop loss at like opening range low down there. Yeah, you'd probably make some money, right? You could definitely scalp it lower. Just not my favorite in terms of I like to be trading off of some sort of key level or a key VWAP in terms of selling it at the New York, just like I was selling it right at the New York Open VWAP, even though it was very early on in the day. Trying to catch moves before they pop, because once they pop, they normally like to pull back to this same very VWAP, which is where I'd be looking for shorts. So it comes back to open range low. This is late in the afternoon, but let's put on a low of day VWAP. So now with that bearish bias we clearly have today, we want to be looking for shorts. So let's put on a low of day VWAP. Sellers take it. Nice new low of day break there. Let's keep the stop loss up there. It doesn't run for a new low of day. Is the trade bad? Was the trend not bearish? What did I miss? What should I be doing instead? Everything pointed towards shorts leading into this setup. Maybe it's a little low, but now that's hindsight because it definitely could have made another move lower with all the sellers we had in today. So let's say you take this loss. All right, nothing wrong with that, but now it's coming back. Let's switch it back to the regular trading hours just to clean this up a bit. So now it comes back to New York VWAP. You're saying, okay, maybe here's our full retest, right? Maybe you jump in a short there on that hold, even though it's not the strongest, but whatever. Last sign for sellers to try to hold in, and they don't move either. So now you have one failed losing trade to the downside and another failed break for a new low from there too. So sellers are kind of getting weaker. They were clearly very strong in the morning, all of these moves down, but now they're getting weaker. Buyers actually take control of the New York VWAP, defend it, and actually hold it a second time, and we come back higher. So I was right on making money to the downside early, and like I said, my stop loss is where I don't want to be short anymore. So now I can get new information and pivot to what the VWAP is telling me. So now later on in the afternoon, given those two failed shorts, if you had taken them or not, or just saw them, now you can react to, now we're on the right side of VWAP in terms of we're above it. And we're above that overnight VWAP that we went over in the beginning. And now we're building higher lows and higher highs. Sellers are weak, and it goes for a new high a day. So maybe you long it somewhere in here around the VWAP and you catch that. If not, makes a new high, pulls back, you buy it there, stop loss that structure, and another new high. Now this is late in the afternoon, maybe you're not taking that long, but just the premise of, I don't know where we're going to finish the day. I'm just saying this looks very bearish right now. It looks very bearish right now. It looks very bearish. Yeah, it's kind of making me like longs a little bit more. Now this looks bullish, right? Just pivoting. I don't care where we're going on the day, just almost like the next 20 minutes because that's what the VWAP is telling me. So don't get too tunnel vision on needing to know what's going to happen. No, you're just playing probabilities. Sellers were in control. Buyers took it back. Now make good decisions with that information that you have. Don't just keep marrying the shorts because they had been working. Maybe they're not working as well anymore. Let's maybe pivot to the longs or take a break, right? And you can see the day still on the 15-minute here finishes bearish, although way up here. I guess maybe not even bearish, like right where we started. But just a whole bunch of wasted movement of this big move down to start the day. We made money in these shorts, but it actually rallied in the afternoon. Who saw that coming? But I'm still able to make money to the downside off of the key VWAPs and reacting while sellers are still in. And had I kept trading, maybe we'll flip to the longs. But I'm done at 3 o'clock on a Friday. I'm out of there. So hopefully you guys are the same way. But you look at just coming into the week, at the end of the week, this is the 15-minute. It had definitely been a little bit more bearish than bullish, like we were having clearly on our ways to all-time high. So when we get another break for another new low and another new low of week down here, right? Yeah, I'll probably follow the shorts. Makes a lot of sense. We're below VWAPs. Sentiment's bearish. Momentum's bearish. Let's ride the shorts until buyers show their hand a little bit. And that didn't come until later in the afternoon. So like I said, hopefully you guys made money on it or learned not to get induced into the longs early until they are ready above all VWAPs and forming structure in your favor. I build this all in Futures 2.0. It's on ASFX TV. The link is down below, like I said. It's completely free. Just use code FIRST. You can study this. There is an update coming to it December 1st. So a little Christmas gift, early Christmas gift. So make sure you watch this and watch the update, as well as 2 other strategies that are on this ASFX TV. And you can watch all the daily live streams of us taking these setups, all right? So hopefully I'll see you in the chat. Make sure you check out the top 1 sale. They're still running code Evan as the best deal. So I appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys on the desk tomorrow morning.